Mattie McGrath, I suppose the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement and the World Health Organization, I suppose they're the international steps that might affect Ireland in terms of, their Ireland is a member of one and a signatory to another. What's your reaction?
Well, listen, first of all, I hope that all of us, including the now Taoiseach and be Taoiseach tomorrow, will have respect for the office and we will call him President Trump, not just call him by saying we don't do that anywhere else. We respect him. He's elected by the people of America. I would have questioned the WHO myself several times in the last hour and previously, so he might bring a bit of reality. And the whole climate emergency that was passed in the Dáil, which I voted against, I'm not a climate denier, but we've just gone over the top completely.
Right. And what's wrong with the WHO?
No, just, they haven't been very accountable. And there have been bullies in many areas. And
what area specifically?
Many areas. They need to be rain check. And we saw, you mentioned pardons. We saw where.
Well, no, that's just on the WHO.
In many areas, they're not accountable to any
well,
parliament.
They're responsible for the international health regulation. So if a disease concern is raised about yellow fever, if it's raised about contagious diseases, the signatories of the international health regulations all sign up to taking certain measures that stop the spread of transmissible diseases. It's a global thing that was set up, to combat things like SARS and dates back to the 1970s.
Many
for yellow fevers and measles.
But they can be overreaching and have been overreaching.
What's the specific area where the WHO was overreached?
We see now where outgoing President Biden, he's gone now, sorry, former President Biden, pardoned somebody that wasn't even charged. Not to mind say convicted. That's,
but just for the record, you can't think of one specific area where the WHO has overreached as it pertains.
Yes.
Where? As it affects Ireland. But where? What?
All over the place. The same with the World Economic Forum. All over the place. They're not accountable to
the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum is a talking shop that meets in the mountains.
And the WHO is fairly.
But what are you talking about vaccinations or what are you
I'm talking about in many areas there's overreach and overkill with the climate change as well. So
what's
it might bring a bit of balance back to the debate.
What's the role of the World Economic Forum as you see it?
What's the role of it?
Yeah.
Set up with very good motives, but as I said, overreach and too much influence of over national governments.
But it doesn't have any role in directing national government.
Well, it does. It has.
It's a conference. It holds a conference every year in the mountains.
In sending out, disseminating information and maybe going over the top with it as well.
But has no executive function.
No, that's my point. And why
right.
we have to be...
if you've no executive function, how do you overreach?
Because with the powerful media and powerful people on it, and look, you're said and led by it. And our governments have been falling into line with them.
Can you see the hand of the World Economic Forum in this interview?
Not this interview, no.
No, where
I'm questioning it here, but I can kind of see it now if we're not allowed to question it.
No, you're more than well.
They're not a sacred cow.
For the benefit of listeners, though, if you're talking about overreach with the World Economic Forum,
I am talking about overreach. Yes.
Sure, for their benefit,
actions that will bring back a balance in this debate.
It's my job, I suppose, to point out they do not have any executive or governmental role in this country.
But they have overreach, as I said, and by the simple power of media and the power of their presence and the statements and everything else that they give out and disseminate are just scaring people a lot of the time.
All right, Sarah Burns, I have to ask you now to clear your hand. Have you now or have you ever been directed by Klaus Schwab in the course of your daily work?
No, I don't think so.
Right, okay. Angus, I don't think ever had any conversations with Klaus Schwab in the course of your work in the World Economic Forum? No, James Kagan?
No, but I think what Mattie is speaking to is, it's an attempt to undermine multilateral institutions that by and large have served the world well. And it is Ireland's place, and one of those biggest ones being the European Union, that is going to safeguard us against some of these decisions that are being taken, be they be motivated by an anti-science perspective or an anti-climate or a climate denial perspective. And the only way to combat against that when we're a small little country is by acting multilateral and being part of the European Union.
We got to go for another break. We're back in a minute.